Holy Ghost, I pray, give me authority to speak and to say the right things, to say things, to teach the right things, so that somebody may be helped from the things that we're saying, that the families may be corrected. I want to talk real quick about disciplining the children. Why is it important to discipline your child? First of all, it is hardly a matter of choice. You don't really have a choice. And the reason why you don't have a choice is that your child is gonna be experiencing some discipline at some point in time. If that discipline does not happen within the home, it's gonna happen in the public. The world is gonna discipline your child. The difference between the world disciplining your child and you disciplining your child in the home is that in the home, the child is disciplined with love. So even though you're disciplining your child, you're doing it from a point of view of love. In the world, your child is disciplined with hate. And it's a different type of discipline. It's two different type of discipline. So in order to avoid your children being disciplined by hate, then you have to do that love discipline that needs to be done within the home, so that it becomes unnecessary for the world to discipline your child. The problem with discipline, and that why most people find it so hard, is because the discipline did not start in time. It did not start early enough. When the child reaches like 2 years old and start acting up, child got to know, where the line is and where the line is drawn in the sand, and they have to understand from early that this is a part of life. So let's take the discipline out of the home and see what happens. Let's say you are a person that does not believe in discipline in your home, or no discipline is being done in your home. Let's see what happens. The child goes out into the world, into the real world, thinking that it is okay for them to do whatever they want, that they have the choice, the freedom to do whatever they please. The real world is not going to tolerate that behavior. So they're going to be disciplined at the workplace. They're just going from job to job. They're going to be disciplined, in the social hemisphere, and they're going to be disciplined by the state, the law enforcement system that is in our country for that reason and more. So it's not just disciplining your child for your sake, or because your home may require it or not. It's about disciplining your child because of the consequences of not doing that is inevitable. So we don't really have a choice as to whether or not to discipline our children. And we get to this place where it's commonly believed that black folks discipline their children more and are very disciplinary parent, but that cannot be further from the truth. Because we see black children, African descendant, growing without discipline. We're seeing them having no regards for the rights of other people, having no regards for the lives of other people, having no regard for the safety of other people. And this sort of selfish behavior is what places the black children at odds with the legal system. Not saying that there is not racism, because racism has always been there, and that is going to play a factor. But we do not want to play any role in the demise of our children. We want, every time we're able to point the fingers, that we can point the fingers straight without the thumb pointing back at us. So disciplining children, of course it is necessary, but it's something that needs to start from early, so that you don't have to be so drastic in disciplining your child because you waited too late and they do something so terrible, so horrible that it really just pisses you off, and you just get driven to the edge where you end up doing something crazy. Then you end up getting arrested, ending up in jail for punishing your children. All of that stuff can be avoided. There is no life without discipline. There is no place, no destination that you can go, whether you're trying to achieve goals or anything that you can achieve in life. You cannot do it without discipline. So it is necessary. So if you are one of those parents who is mistaking love for correction and for discipline, then you need to stop, because you cannot put love where discipline is supposed to be. You can't put discipline where love is supposed to be. Love is something entirely different, and it have nothing to do with your innate duty as a parent to guide your children in the wrong way. Remember, at the end of the day, you are raising products that you're going to put into the world. You're going to put them on the world market. So what? Would you give a product to everybody else that you know is not good? What if everybody is supposed to do the same thing? What if you are to deal with other children, other people's children, bad behavior? If they come into your house and vandalize it, break down your house and do all of that crazy stuff, you wouldn't like that. So why would you raise your child to do that to other people? Discipline is necessary, because especially if we're calling ourselves as Christian, as believers and heaven bound. Heaven is a very disciplined and organized place, and in order to live for Christ, you have to discipline yourself. There's no way you can be a Christian without discipline. It's just not possible, because to obey and to follow the word of God, it's all a matter of discipline, how you discipline yourself, because it's not anything goes. It doesn't work like that. So no one have freedom. There is no such thing as total freedom. It's always going to be somebody that you're going to have to answer to, wherever you go. So we have to train our children to respect other people, respect authority, because the time is going to come when they're going to be placed in authority. So what if the seed you sow, you should reap that seed. If nobody should respect your authority when you're being placed in authority, because authority is something that's shared. Nobody gets to be the boss all the time. It's a time when you're in charge and a time when you are not. So it should not be a thing where you feel that nobody can talk to you because they're not your parents. I want that's one of the things we hear. Disobedient children say a lot, oh, you're not my mommy or you're not my daddy, so you can't tell me what to do. I'm like, really? That's not how it's supposed to be. That's not true. And you have parent that is willing to go and pick a fight with other parents because they see your children on the street and they try to guide them in the right way. That is bad parenting. That is poor parenting, and that ought to be disqualified anyone from being a parent. So we talk about the family, raising the family, the children, and how we raise our children is the most important thing, because that is gonna be the direction of the family. That is who is gonna be the family. Those are who are gonna be the head of the family in the future. So we have to pay very, very close attention to what we're doing here, what we're saying to our children, how we are positioning their mind, how we are forming their system of thought, and to let them understand that this is not all about you. It is never all about you. It's everybody that's living in the world, and everybody have the same amount of rights. So in order for you to have people respect your rights or to respect you, you have to respect other people. There is no other formation, there is no other conditions that we can lay out for these things. So discipline is a must. Discipline a child if there needs to be discipline, if there's a message in what you're doing, not just to show that you're the father or you're the mother, because that is not discipline, that is iniquity. Witchcraft is when you try to force your mind or force other people to do their will without them deciding to do it. So whenever time you discipline your child, you have to let them know what is the goal of this discipline. What are you trying to accomplish? What is the message here? Why am I getting scolded? So that is something that you have to explain. They have a right to know that. If you're going to tear somebody's butt up, the least you can do is to give them an explanation as to why your butt is going to get tear up tonight. What is the message in that? Because if you do that without telling them what it's all about, then it seems like abuse. It seems like you're just using your authority to empower them, without having a real purpose or a real goal for it. So just understand what you're doing, do it in love, explain to them what you're doing, why they get their butt tearing up, but don't forget to do that. Because if you spare the rod, you'll spoil the child. The Bible said that. So especially Christian believers, don't spoil your child. Don't come with that love thing. That love, oh, I love my kids, I would never do this. Yes, you love your kids. That's why you need to do it. Because Christ loved his son, Jesus Christ. God loved his son, and he gave him up to be crucified for sins, even though he was his only begotten son. He did it. The same thing Abraham did. Gave up his son, his only begotten son at the time, to be crucified because he had faith in God. So sacrifices, people sacrifice their children in different ways. And at least if you tear that butt up when it needs to be tear up, it's not the end of the world. And stuff will wear off, very easily and in a matter of time. What is worse than disciplining your child? Disciplining your child is the easy part. I probably should have made another video explaining this part. But what is worse? The worst thing you could ever do to your child, and that's one way you do not want to discipline your child, is through verbal abuse. Because when you tell somebody something that hurts them, that resonates and that hurts them, that can go on for years and years and years and throughout that person's life. And they will always think about it. You tear that butt up, within another hour, they'll be fine. You know, those wounds will be healed, they'll be all right. Again, at least they understand not to go down that route. But you abuse that child or abuse that person verbally, those words are going to resonate. So you see, you might not be scolding your child, but you might be saying something to them that you have no business in saying, and that is the worst type of abuse. That is what you should never do. Do not utter negative words to your child. Don't tell them that they ain't gonna be anything, or they don't tell them that they ain't. Don't tell a child what they ain't gonna be or what they ain't gonna do, because you don't know that. That is not your position to judge that. Not because you're upset, you know, because the things that they do out of place, you know, which they should not have been doing in the first place if you was training them the right way. So now you're gonna use that opportunity to turn around and to abuse or verbally abuse the same child that you spoiled. That's not right. That's not right. Because any negative word that you breathe, that you say to your family, whether that be your wife, or husband, or child, or anybody that is in your family or under your house, any negative word that come out of your mouth to that person, it hurts them more than any kind of physical discipline. Because when you utter negative words out of your mouth inside of your family, those negative words become demonic spirits. You're releasing demonic spirits within your house. You're planting word seeds like trees, and that situation is gonna get worse as you continue more negative words. So it's like you're watering the tree. You're watering the tree and you bear up that negative tree. You're raising up that negative tree within your family. And then you wonder why your family having such a difficult time, why they can't prosper, why things won't go right in your family, why you're dwelling in poverty and your family can't seem to get any blessing. It is because of all the negative things that you say in your family. It is because of the negative words. It's because of the word seeds that you plant. And it's breeding out those demonic spirits, and it's creating that kind of environment around your family. And that is why your family situation is what it is. That is why people end up on drug and alcohol and all sort of. Your family become dysfunctional because you're wording the trees that you plant within your family are negative. Pay attention to these laws. Pay attention to what I'm saying here, because this is a fact. This is something that you need to know. You have to be careful what you say to your family, not because somebody might say something to you and you get upset, you take it all personal and your feelings is hurt. It doesn't give you the right to utter these things, these fearful, ugly things in the atmosphere, and to have that spirit surrounding your family, because in the end it's gonna cost you and it's gonna cost them. You're gonna hurt them, you're gonna hurt yourself. So if you're hurt in your family, if somebody does something that pisses you off and make you feel bad, you ought to have, call a meeting with your family and you all go over what you need to establish that communication bounds, rather than cursing each other out and saying bad, negative things, because these are seeds, negative seeds. These are word seeds that you're planting within your family, and it stays there for life. So please pay attention to these things and understand what is it that we're doing. We're trying to raise families here, and there are things that is not acceptable.